Hey, I'm Varney. I play Korra on The Legend of Korra. It is this is my first Sac-Con at all. And in fact, I think only my second time in Sacramento, which seems crazy because I lived in San Francisco for so long. But I used to perform a lot, and I did like shows at UC Davis and shows at Chico. And I think I performed in Sacramento once, but it's nice to be up here. It's a great town, and everybody's been super welcoming, and the fans up here are great. I lived in the Bay Area. I lived in San Francisco proper, right downtown, for 9 years. I was never planning on leaving. Kind of got dragged down to LA kicking and screaming, and I still produce, I founded and I produce a comedy festival with 2 partners that I used to be in a sketch troupe with called SF Sketch Fest, and we go every kind of January into February. This year we're January 23rd to February 9th, and it's an amazing way for me to stay connected to the Bay Area. You know, I go up there and I just live there for a month, and we bring all this comedy in, and I get to kind of have my San Francisco back. And I get to go up there numerous times during the year for the same reason. So it's such a gift because I just think there's no better place than the Bay Area. And all due respect to, you know, my home now, Los Angeles, there's a reason people say leave your heart in San Francisco. And I'm really, really grateful to still be connected to it because it's kicked some serious ass. I got into voice acting through my commercial agent. It's a very dry answer, so get ready to get bored. Through my commercial agent, they had a voiceover department. I didn't really have a lot of experience in voiceover, but I just had this fantasy that somehow I would be able to do a cartoon voice. And so I just begged my agent, and he was like, you gotta take classes. So I always tell people, and they're like, what do I do? Definitely get a coach or take classes. It was super helpful. And once I had done that, he was like, all right, we'll start sending you out for stuff. I landed the role of Korra through the audition process. Nickelodeon had, the casting department at Nickelodeon, they're so wonderful, and they actually have an eye on comedy, which is really great because they like, I think, getting, you know, funny people onto their cartoons, and also comedians aren't afraid to be really over the top in live action stuff too. Like for kids shows, whenever you go to audition for something for a kids show, like if it's the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, they always say like, don't worry about playing it small. Like, go ahead and just let her go. You can be as big as you want. So I think comedians are used to making fools of themselves, so they tend to do well in those environments. And anyway, so they had just come to know me from on-camera stuff, and they started bringing me in to audition for cartoons. And I have said this before, but I always thought, you know, I'll end up with some kooky job, or maybe I'll be, you know, like this, I don't know what, like a little kid who's like crazy. And I did get some other jobs that were a little more along those lines, but then I got Korra, and I just couldn't believe that that worked out, because I thought, oh, they could have their pick of anyone for a show like this, you know, my gosh, I don't know why I would be their choice. And for whatever reason, Mike and Brian took a chance on me, and, you know, that's how it happened. I had started watching the original Last Airbender. I had a couple of friends who were, you know, my age, who were like, you don't know what this thing is, but this is a thing that you will love. And I had just started watching it, and then the audition came through, and I was like, oh no, I need to stop watching this right now, because this is so good that I'm gonna care too much about whether I get the part or not. So I had to like take a break through the process, and then I was able to finish it out once I actually had the job. This is a tough one. I mean, I usually say water, not just to be loyal to Korra and her tribe, but also just because, first of all, I love the clothes. Listen, let's get super superficial. And I just, yeah, I think when I'm in a bad mood, I wish I could vent fire, but on a consistent basis, probably water. Yes, I share that feeling of pressure. Yeah, that's a really great parallel to draw. Certainly Korra has had some real pressure on her, and certainly she's a very different avatar than Aang. And she, I think, didn't want to let anyone down, but also thought maybe like, if I just present myself like I don't care, you know, everyone will just have confidence in me because I seem to have confidence in myself. And I am not that way. I wish that I could have been more like, yeah, what's up, I'm gonna rock it. Sure, I'm the next Avatar, whatever. That is not how I felt, and that is not how I behaved. From the very beginning, I was like, oh, I hope people like me. Oh, I hope this goes okay. Like, I'm not sure. This is so scary because the first series is so amazing. But so I definitely felt pressure, and I'm very excited to say that, you know, that I've been embraced, as far as I know, by the fans, and that, you know, people seem to be happy with how it's all gone, and I couldn't be any more relieved because it was really important to me. Well, that's one of the great things about the guys, is that, you know, they know that it has significance that Korra is the Avatar and is a girl, because obviously Aang was a boy. But I think that they also have been very forthright about just saying, well, yeah, you know, it's not like we did it to make some big statement, because to us, of course she would be a girl. What's the difference? Why couldn't the Avatar be a girl? It's not like they hemmed and hawed over it, like, I don't know, we're taking a big risk making the next Avatar a girl. But because they just have such a progressive and, you know, sane view of gender equality, which is that we should all be equal, and that's, you know, it's as simple as that. But I'm really glad that they're expressing that to everyone, so that, you know, maybe for some young women who don't necessarily get that same message given to them on their day-to-day life, that there is a character like Korra out there reminding them that many of us do feel like, you know, chicks are awesome. I definitely relate with Korra. I wish that I could say that I related to all of her wonderful qualities. I aspire to be more like her in those ways, but probably one of the reasons I got the job is that I could definitely identify with the sort of lack of respect for authority, the stubbornness, the impatience. I spend a lot of time telling myself to be the leaf. Because I just want things to work out like fast and be great for everyone, and as I've gotten older, I've had to learn, I think, how to surrender a little bit more. I was just talking to Morgan about that because my flight keeps getting delayed, and I was like, I want to control this, and I have to be like, be the leaf, you can't control it, you're not in charge of flights. That's a great question. I don't know if I can answer it. I would say, as a fan, I hope so. Boy, that's a great question too. I don't know. I think I like the idea of trying to unify, or, you know, sort of create a means of there being balance and a way for there to be an interaction, but I think that there's some risk involved that I don't know if, like, we're to the point where it was the safest decision. Hey, I'm Janet Varney, I play Korra, and you are watching ConMen.